Happy Friday from Dan Kramer Inc. And today Dan and I were talking before we started recording this, and decided we were going to just talk about some new things that we're learning together in the business world. So we read a book called Rocket Fuel. If you're a business owner at all, highly recommend it. And it's really about finding the right team, finding the right person to really complement your weaknesses as a business person. Some people are visionaries, some people are what they call integrators. Visionaries are a lot of ideas, usually have about 100 new ideas a week, big ideas. And your integrators are more of the realist, take the visionaries' ideas and make them happen. So that's something that we've just been working through, and just wanted to talk to people about that. You don't have to do everything on your own. It's great if you can find someone who really complements you in those areas. So Dan, you have been in business really on your own for what, the past 6-7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And there's probably a handful of things that you've wanted to get done. So just share some of your thoughts from reading that book and the conversations we've had with coaches and mentors about that aspect of the business.
Yeah, I think we to give credit where credit's due, we met with what's called an EOS implementer a few months back, and it's all based off of this book called Traction, and the sequel to the book Traction is Rocket Fuel by Gino Wickman. So that's been something on my mind for a long time. In this industry, in the financial industry, you meet with clients, you get them excited, you help them in the best you can, you sell some products, you make some money, and the more you do that, the more money you make. And most people in my industry never build a business, right? It's just a sales job, right? And the moment they stop selling, the moment they don't have income, right? So they have to do smart stuff with their money when they make it, and they try to create that income from somewhere else. So I've been observant of that for a long time. And I'm like, dude, how do you build a business in this industry? How do you build systems out that work when you are not actively putting in time? And I've always asked that question. And now I have Allison and Ben, and Allison's been with me the longest as more of like a personal assistant to kind of delegate. So everybody that is in business, you got to get it bigger than yourself. If you're doing all the jobs all the time, then there's no freedom of time. And that's this thing called the 4 quadrants from Robert Kiyosaki. You're employee, you're self-employed, you're a business owner, and you're an investor. And to get from self-employed and employee to the other side of the quadrants, you have to build systems, right? And so I've always known this. I've read the books, and through the years, and so Ben comes along, and Ben wants me to teach him about finances. He's interested, and for a long time, the last year, it's just teaching him what I can teach him. And so just going through this EOS process in the last couple of weeks, I'm like, hey, Ben, I got another crazy idea. I think you should not try to be me, but I think maybe your specific skill set is more of an integrator, which is a systems guy, to actually take the crazy ideas and build out systems. And that's what we're exploring. I mean, this is raw. Ben's not locked into anything. I'm not locked into anything. We're going to do a 90-day trial on this. But Ben did take the test, and the test said he's a stronger integrator. I've taken the test. The test says I'm all visionary. So if that works and we compare together, the theory is, you don't want to partner with people that are the same as you, right? That just creates competition, not necessary competition, right? You want to partner with people that complement you, that can do things that you can't do, to free up your time and keep you in your lane, right? So it's super exciting. We'll see where it goes. I'm sure we'll talk on this in 30 days and in 90 days and down the road, because there's a lot of ideas I have, and I've had them for a long time. And, I've seen progress in my finance practice, which is awesome. And I've sold more and did more, and it's all good, but it's going to be limited and capped if people don't take this seriously. And I think we can help a lot more people and create a lot more reach if we have the systems and we have the right integrator to help implement those systems. So super excited. We'll see where it goes. But I mean, what's been your takeaway? And I think, if I can just throw this out there, you comment on it. I think you were thinking when I first pitched this to you that you were settling for like an admin role. Talk on that a little bit, and maybe talk about the progress you've made mindset wise on, on now your new thoughts on the role.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think, coming into working with you, there were some things you asked me to help you with. And then as we started exploring those things, it kind of led down more and more of, well, okay, if we really want to build this into a business, we got to do X, Y, and Z. And some of those things are, a client management system and things that are kind of boring and mundane, but they're a big foundational piece of building a business, processes. And if you're just shooting from the hip the entire time you're in business, you don't necessarily have a business that can be replicated or can be sold. Someone's probably not going to want to buy it from you if you get to that point. So, I've taken on some of those things, and yeah, originally I kind of thought, man, that kind of sounds kind of a little bit boring, to just be taking on a lot of those admin type roles. But reading Rocket Fuel and understanding it more of what a true integrator is, a lot of the big companies and really successful people have had integrators. Most people have heard of McDonald's and have heard of Ray Kroc, but they never heard of Fred Turner, who was, Ray Kroc's integrator. And he didn't really do a lot in the limelight. He did a lot behind the scenes. Same thing with Walt Disney, his big brother, Roy Disney, which I never even knew Walt Disney had a brother until I read that book. And Roy pretty much kept Walt from bouncing the checks. And, so they're not usually very well known, but it's the two roles in the company are almost like two employees at the top, but there's a balance of power. The visionary helps the integrator, it keeps him accountable, and then the integrator keeps that visionary accountable and also helps pull him back to reality if there's an idea that's just like, hey, sorry, but this is just not gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
We got to nix that. So, after reading that and really understanding, okay, an integrator is not just someone who's going to be doing all the mundane tasks. It's more of a manager and delegating and finding and working it all together, bringing it all together for the greater good of the company. And so that's kind of my new findings on it. And yeah, it's kind of exciting because, like I said, I've been balancing a little bit of that, advisor and integrator role. And so this helps kind of keep me on the straight and narrow.
Yeah. And for those, if you're still listening this far into the video and you've worked with me, it's a push pull in this industry where you're like, you bring on a ton of clients, and then you almost got to like pause because there's so much to do to service them with the meetings and all of the follow-up and the implementation of the strategies and all that stuff. If you build a system out, in my mind, one of the ideas, right? Well, if you have a system, you don't really need to slow down on taking on more clients or helping more people, because a lot of it can be it could be repeatable actions that can be delegated without compromising, the service. So that's what we're actively trying to build that out. And I really think we're on the right track. And how many of you have worked with me when, maybe you got all excited because there's all this potential of what we can do, but then you didn't hear from me or it didn't get done. Like I'm trying to take full responsibility for that, right? A lot of that is because I didn't have the systems, the personnel, the help, or the manpower or the time to do it, right? I'm on to the next call and maybe it got lost. All of that should not be happening. And with a true integrator, they can be, Ben's going to be on a lot of the calls. Ben's still going to be learning all of the stuff that I teach, and Ben's going to be capable, but Ben's strength is what we're finding is actually helping to build out the implementation of the checklist of all the things that need to get done. And I think it's going to be pretty crazy. And if this trial works, fast forward 90 days to a year, you'll see, all these crazy ideas in my head. And there's a board behind me with three tiers of clients that we deal with. And they're all going to be handled a little differently with different ideas, strategies, and not products, but just different services available. And so more people will be able to get help. More, we'll have more reach, but we don't want to have to be working more hours. We have families. We want to free up time. So systems allow you to free up time and be more profitable. So good things to come. I mean, I'm excited about it. Obviously, it could be a massive failure, and we'll find that out. But I don't think so. Ben and I have a ton in common in our, religion and on our political beliefs and our family values. So we already have so much in common. It's refreshing to know that maybe, we'll complement each other's weaknesses and try to build something bigger than just what we'd be able to do on our own. So see where it goes.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be great. And if you're listening to this and you are a business owner or an entrepreneur that's doing it alone, maybe sit back and reflect on and write down what are the things that you do every single day in your business, and then break it down by what do you like to do, what do you really hate to do, and then maybe write out your strengths, weaknesses, and different obstacles that are getting in the way in your business, and maybe start thinking of people who might be able to help you solve some of those issues. It doesn't mean you have to do it right away, but maybe eventually, as your business grows, that's a relationship that you can make with someone and really just take your business to the next level. So yeah, those are kind of my closing thoughts. Dan, you want to add anything else?
No, I mean, we'll keep you posted on our end, but like Ben said, if you are a business, the EOS process, it stands for entrepreneurial operating systems. The book Traction, the book Rocket Fuel, some great resources. Always trying to get you guys some resources, but business is hard. It really is, right? And that's why 95% of them don't make it. And the scary part is a lot of the ones that do make it, they're not very profitable. They're not set up to last. They're not set up to make a lot of money, and they're not set up to, actually create the result you started the business for. So highly encourage you to spend some time. Like, you know, you didn't make that huge sacrifice in starting a business to just be mediocre, you know. So we're excited about this, and hopefully as we share our progress, it'll help you throughout this. So we got a comment from JC Castro. Juan is down in Florida. So thanks for the comment, man. We'll talk soon. All right. That's all I got.